If you've been scrolling through audio forums and home theater subreddits lately, you've probably seen the Fluance Signature HiFi surround sound system popping up in a lot of threads. It's getting a lot of buzz because people are finally seeing a speaker package that promises true audiophile level performance without the custom install price tag, and I wanted to see if the hype actually lines up with what you hear in a regular living room setup. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the thing that caught my eye right away is the fact that this is a fully timbre-matched 5-speaker system. That means the 3 floor-standing towers, the center channel, and the 2 rear surrounds are all built around the same driver technology, so when you move from a big explosion on the screen to a quiet line of dialogue, the tonal character stays consistent. In practice, that translates to fewer moments where you're adjusting to a different sound from each speaker, which is something I've personally found annoying with mismatched setups. The towers each house a solid 8-inch woofer that's designed to move linearly, giving you a tighter low end that you can actually feel without the bass getting mushy. When I played a recent action movie with a lot of rumbling car chases, the floorstanders kept those low frequencies punchy enough to make the room vibrate, but still clean enough that the dialogue in the center speaker never got drowned out. One of the biggest practical benefits is how easy the system is to install for a first-time home theater owner. The cabinets are engineered to be acoustically inert, so you don't have to worry about putting a rug underneath or adding massive isolation pads to keep the cabinets from vibrating. You can simply position the towers on either side of your TV, slip the center channel right beneath the display, and pop the 2 surrounds behind your seating area. Because the cabinets are finished in a natural walnut veneer, they actually blend in with a lot of modern decor, which solves the problem of having a set of speakers that look like something you'd find in a recording studio rather than a living room. If you're a music lover who also watches movies, you'll appreciate the unique mid-range pointed dome that Fluance uses on each driver. The dome is angled to direct sound waves straight toward the listening position, which reduces reflections off the side walls and helps keep vocals and acoustic instruments crystal clear. I tried a few of my favorite vinyl-to-digital tracks, and the saxophone on a jazz piece stayed right in the front of the room, while the cymbals didn't get a metallic edge that sometimes happens with cheaper domes. It's a subtle improvement, but over a 2-hour listening session you can feel the difference in fatigue level. The speakers stay open and airy, rather than sounding tight or forced. Another real-world perk is the way the system handles surround effects in gaming. Because the rear speakers are matched to the front towers, positional audio cues feel natural rather than artificially boosted. When I played a first-person shooter that relied heavily on directional sound, I could clearly tell if an enemy was sneaking up from the left, right, or directly behind me without having to constantly turn my head. That kind of accuracy can make a difference between a win and a loss, especially in competitive multiplayer matches where split-second decisions matter. The system also comes with a decent amount of flexibility in terms of placement. Since the towers have a relatively narrow footprint, they fit nicely into corners without feeling cramped, and the rear surrounds can be mounted on the wall or left on a stand, depending on how you prefer to arrange your space. This is helpful if you have a smaller living room, or a multi-use space, where you can't dedicate a full wall to a speaker array. Even with the more compact setup, the soundstage stays wide enough to give you that immersive feel without pushing the speakers past the walls and causing unwanted resonances. In terms of durability, the cabinets feel robust. They are made from engineered wood with a finish that resists scratches and minor dents. I've had a couple of kids run into the floor-standing towers during a family movie night, and the speakers took the bumps without any wobble or rattling. That kind of build quality gives peace of mind if you plan to keep the system for years rather than treating it like a temporary upgrade. Now, for a quick pros and cons rundown. The pros I'd highlight are the consistent timbre across all 5 speakers, which makes movies and music feel cohesive, the solid low end from those 8-inch woofers that stays tight without getting muddy, and the attractive walnut finish that lets the system sit nicely in most decor schemes. On the downside, the system doesn't come with a dedicated subwoofer, So if you're after that deep room-shaking rumble, you might need an extra component. Also, the built-in crossover network isn't as customizable as some higher-end audiophile kits, so you're mostly limited to the factory settings. All in all, the Fluance Signature 5.0 channel package delivers a lot of what you'd expect from a higher-priced home theater set, but at a price that's more approachable for the everyday enthusiast. If you've been waiting for a speaker system that bridges the